On the next all-new episode of My Hero Academia.
Eraserhead, you're standing in my way! If I die here and your quirks return, you'll be unstoppable. You're the one who's standing in the way! Too slow! I won't make it! Mr. Aizawa, it's okay! No, kid!
If Shigaraki can't use his powers, then let us join the fight against him!
My Hero Academia, Saturday at midnight. Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
Where am I?
I think we're in a fairy tale. Let's try to be more logical, shall we? We fell from the sky. Ruby made friends with a tiny mouse. Blake and I got caught by killer vines. And you got your arms stolen by a
talking raccoon riding on a purple wagon filled with trash.
Yes, that.
Welcome, one and all!
Tell me, why do you want to go to the tree?
We want to go home, and we believe the tree can get us there.
I sense a butt approaching.
But we don't know how to get to the tree.
You do not go to the tree goes to you, unless of course you're me. You see.
Not even a little bit.
What are you?
You never were the hero. So, what are you gonna be?
You seem to be carrying a rather large burden with you.
I'm fine. I can handle it.
What if you could leave Ruby Rose behind, shed like an old coat? What might happen if you don't?
The following program may contain coarse language, suggestive dialogue, and discussion of violent imagery and sexual situations. It is intended for mature listeners who can tell the difference between facts and opinions.
One Piece redefines icy hot on this episode of the Toonami Faithful Podcast. Yo! My name is Sketch and I'm the host of the show. If it's about manga, VLord will know. Umeko's writing those good recaps and LaserKid's writing tone always slaps.
What? He's doing the One Piece rap. Do we gotta go?
Yeah, yo. Ho ho. I just felt like doing that. I mispronounced Umeko. I practiced that. Umeko.
The rap
got
is
pretty
ruined.
close. But I really stumbled on Laser's verse. But I think you understood.
I did.
It was about your ringtone.
It was about my ringtone.
The original line when I was kind of workshopping this, I almost did a line about how you almost missed the recording because of sleeping.
It's true, I did.
But I decided that
I don't think I actually would have missed the actual recording, but I probably would have been a little bit later to respond.
Mm-hmm. See, I knew that you tend to stay up late, so therefore you sleep in. So,
yep.
I shouldn't say you sleep in so much as you sleep at different hours of the day.
Yeah. Going to bed at like 6 a.m. is different energy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, different energy, different mood. I've been there. But yeah. So yes, we've brought this panel together to talk about the first half of the Punk Hazard arc of One Piece, which is now going at the snail phone pace of one episode a week.
Yeah.
It couldn't last forever, but at least we got through Fishman Island and Punk Hazard.
Yeah.
Now we're in the fun times of for it to be slow. Now we're in Dressrosa, where being slow is gonna really suck.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
we're not
Oh,
not at Dressrosa for about another half a year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then let us hope. Let us hope.
100 episodes of Dressrosa. It's gonna be so much fun.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
So much fun.
It's gonna be so painful.
It's so much fun. I mean, I enjoyed Dressrosa, but like I was watching it as 15 episodes get dumped a month on Funimation.
Same.
Yeah, me too. I binged watched it, so
yeah,
like watching it.
And
If you're
even
watching
then,
it all at once, it's actually quite good.
Yeah, it is.
even then, you're like, how long is this bird cage gonna take?
A long time.
I was watching Totally Not Mark's videos to kind of refresh myself on Punk Hazard and also listen to his Dressrosa video. And he's talking about how great the pacing is in Dressrosa. And I'm like, what?
That's a lie. It's a blatant lie.
I know he's talking about the manga, but
okay, even the
no.
manga. I read the manga weekly for Dressrosa. That pacing is bad.
It's good pacing if you read it all at once, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, it's a good binge. It's a bad weekly experience.
Yeah,
definitely.
I agree.
I mean, there is a lot that goes on in that arc, so it's not like it's
a whole
dragging
lot.
its feet, but
No, it's just it's a meaty boy. It's like Alabasta levels of everything is happening.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Alabasta to the extreme.
That's kind of the problem with like most post time skip One Piece is that there's so much going on to the point that you have to like have like a mental spreadsheet of like every single plot point. And if you have to do that weekly, that becomes a lot tougher than when you're doing a binge and it's all just like thrown at you at once.
Yeah, but don't worry, the anime is always very helpful with about 5 minutes of recapping what just happened.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
That's the best part about binging One Piece is you can just skip that.
Yes, you
can. And then you have 17 to 18 minute episodes.
Yeah.
It goes a lot faster. Or even less than that if you skip the openings.
But the openings are usually good.
Yeah, they are.
The openings are fire. I can't skip One Piece openings. I just can't.
Me either.
When I binge them, I usually watch the opening the first episode and then probably skip it for however many episodes until I feel like watching it again.
I'll do that if I'm binging for other people, but if it's just me, I love that. I love those songs, especially.
Well, that's true. If I'm binging with other people, then we skip it. But if it's just me, I'll probably just sit through it because.
I mean, we got Hands Up going on here. It's like one of my favorite One Piece intros. How could I skip that?
You can't. You can't skip Hands Up. It's amazing.
It is a.
Apparently, you can skip Hands Up if you're the simulcast back when it was originally happening.
So many episodes of We Go.
At least We Go slaps. So
We Go
that's...
does slap. We Go does slap. Although I like Hands Up.
But
better.
after about 50 episodes, you're like,
I was ready for We Go to go away before it did when I was watching it, and I got Hands Up. So I can't even imagine going through Punk Hazard with Hands Up.
It's really weird too because they don't change the visuals, so you just see Hody Jones there, and I'm like, oh, I remember you being a bad villain.
Yeah.
And Toonami wanted to recreate that experience for us by not introducing Punk Hazard bumps until about 15 or so episodes into Punk Hazard.
Yay!
Actually, I think it was more than 15. Yeah. But some of those were doubled up weeks, so it wasn't that many weeks, all things considered. But yeah, it was kind of funny when Donnie's kind of got grumpy about that on Twitter, and then not long after they finally changed. Squeaky wheel, I guess. Squeaky wheel. Speaking of fan participation, horribly ruining things.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about this. Back in December, they aired the first on-air fan art piece that Toonami has done since the mid 2000s, back when there was the anthrax scare and they didn't want to get paper mail. For pretty much as long as they've had the Facebook, they've been doing every Friday a fan art piece, but this is really more of a concentrated, here's a whole bunch of art, and we do a little, we cut a little video for it, make it fun, little dialogue with Tom and Sarah, some clips of the characters talking, reacting to the art, like Luffy going, good. To the art that somebody on Twitter, granddad something or other on Twitter says, named it Dumpy D. Luffy, and yes, I like it.
Dumpy D. Luffy is
Dumpy D. Luffy
is beautiful.
He is beautiful. He's got that fine booty with that Toonami booty shorts.
Oh my god.
That really accentuates. Yeah. So that was kind of weird, but anyway, just kind of figured, hey, they got all kinds of fan art. They probably thought, this is weird, neat. Let's throw it on. But then maybe they went a little too far, because this month the artist showcase had some very risque fetish Nami art. Yeah, it
that
was.
They didn't realize was that.
Yes,
I don't blame them because I wouldn't have known.
I didn't know at all.
Come on, I know they spend enough time on the internet to know what fetish art is. But that said, on one hand, I appreciate somebody drawing Nami not as a stick figure. On the other hand, that was a little too Nami.
Yeah.
Well, you're saying it was a
little too
Nami.
Little too Nami on too Nami. That's what I'm saying here. But the real problem is the person who submitted that art was not the original artist, and said art was paywalled on the original artist's what was it, their Pixiv account? It wasn't Patreon. Some art account, I believe. And the original artist, who is Nikusuki, don't look them up unless you want to see non-safe for work art. They are a known fetish artist that is known to draw inflation art. Yes. Their art was stolen by somebody who goes by Paul Mantell. They are apparently a known art thief, so that's unfortunate.
Dang it, Paul Mantell, why do you gotta ruin fun things?
Yeah. And because of that, the wonderful return of the fan art segments is over already. They will no longer be doing fan art segments. It looks like they're still posting them on Facebook, but because they can't vet all of the art that they get to determine whether or not they're being sent by the original artist, yeah, this is a big ol' mess. They were basically relying on people to be honest, which was probably a bad idea.
Yeah, we'll see how that went.
It is unfortunate. Now, you might ask, why would you show that on air? Why would you show that on air? Well, like I said, I think the general idea was the art is unique and interesting. Let's put it on air, as long as S&P doesn't say no, you can't show that.
I think the idea was the guy who saw it thought it was funny.
Yeah, probably.
And you know what? I actually understand.
Why is the weird art both weeks One Piece? Well, I think I know the answer to that question. Because One Piece is a weird show, and its fans are also weird.
Yeah, yes. that is facts.
So, yeah. That happened. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because it was neat to see that segment come back. You know, it was exciting to see Toonami do something like that again.
It was.
And now it's over.
In the words of Chevy Chase, Christmas Vacation, gone!
Right. Now, we are going to keep the majority of the focus on this on One Piece, but there was some Toonami-related news that recently came out, and that being about that final season of Attack on Titan that just keeps going. So, first we had Attack on Titan, the final season. Then we had Attack on Titan, the final season, part 2. And this March, it's Attack on Titan, the final season, part 3, part 1.
Would it really have been so hard just to season 3, 4, 5, and then 6? Would it really have been that hard?
You know, hindsight.
Yeah.
Look, Mappa is so overworked right now that I'm glad that they're doing what they can to lighten that load. But this is getting ridiculous, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they did Chainsaw
Yeah, it really
Man,
is.
just wow.
Now, I have no thought that this is going to be like an extra long season. I'm sure it's going to be 12 episodes or less because there's only 9 chapters left to adapt.
Yeah, it's not that much left.
It definitely sounds like it's less because the statement they put out sounds like it's split into 2 parts because of like the amount of workload like being pretty high and they not having enough resources to actually produce it all at once.
Yeah.
So like it's probably like maybe like 4 episodes, then another 4 episodes or something.
That'd be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be a little tight. Probably should do 10 episodes, but
yeah, maybe. But it would explain why it's like starting in like March rather than like a normal starting month for an anime.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, here I was so darn sure that Attack on Titan wasn't going to start until the spring season. Well, so much for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's still technically the winter season.
Yeah.
Winter is still coming.
It's always coming. The question is just how close is it?
I love some genocide with my winter.
Oh my god.
Right?
Well, yeah.
Indeed.
Man.
So yeah, I'm honestly not sure how Toonami's going to handle this. If they have the same kind of contract where they're supposed to have the dub premiere, are they just going to have to just run it in pieces like Japan is? I guess. Well, it wouldn't be the first time they've run a show with just 4 episodes. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be something to see whenever we see it and however long we see it.
Yeah. Like, okay, you need to do it in 2 parts right now. Cool. If the next part comes out in the fall or at least before the end of the year, fine. But if they make us wait until 2024 for the last 4 to 6 episodes.
Listen to me. I'm about to knock all kinds of shit over if they do that.
I was looking through our episodes and did we actually talk about part 3? I mean, part 2? I don't see an episode where we're really talking about it.
If we did, I wasn't a part of it because I still have like 3 episodes left of that, and I just kind of gave up on it.
Oh boy! All right. Well,
I don't remember talking about it. I
could
remember
probably go watch
it
so we can talk about it though. Like I only have a couple.
Yeah. I recall you did your usual write-ups for it. So
yeah, but didn't talk about it. I wrote about it though.
Here I was feeling pretty bad that we haven't gotten around to the second half of Assassination Classroom when we've just completely ignored that season of Attack on Titan.
Yeah, no, we're the best at coverage.
We're so enthusiastic about it.
Well, we're more enthusiastic about those 2 than Yoshihime.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Ooh, I haven't even watched season 2 yet. Oh.
You know what? I started watching season 2, and there's interesting stuff happening.
Oh, well, now you're gonna make me watch it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still a bit of a slog. So I'm nowhere near caught up with that. I'm sorry. We're probably not going to talk about that until the season's over. This is the way it is.
We got some One Piece for you though.
Yeah, we do. And you know, in all fairness, that's going to be like 24 episodes, and we are currently covering like 22 episodes of One Piece. So there you go. We're doing them in bigger chunks now. Except for Made in Abyss, because so much happened in the last couple of episodes that we really need to touch base with that before we do our final discussion on that season.
Trauma is real.
Those are some boys and traumatic boys.
And more good news about Made in Abyss, there will be more anime.
Yay!
Yay!
Okay, as traumatic as this, I actually really love the spoiler. I like this season a lot.
Okay, yeah, this season's really good. So yeah, I agree.
Just a little hard to watch sometimes.
Sometimes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's certain characters that I want to smack across the face.
Oh, for sure.
Gee, I wonder who I'm talking about. I wonder.
Indeed. I wonder.
I do wonder when they're gonna like produce the next like season or like whatever project ends up being though, because like there's one volume of material after season 2 ends.
Yeah.
So like they can't really do much with it.
Yeah, they're really really ahead of the game announcing that.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised to hear that because given how long it was between season 1 and 2, I would have assumed it would have gotten a lot further.
Speaking of things that I don't think we brought up on this podcast yet, they are doing a 3rd season of One Punch Man. I mean, how's that possible? There was never a second one.
I don't know what you're talking about. Right? There was a season. I think I heard somebody made like a fan animation that would cover what would have been a season 2. Maybe they just decided it's not worth to do it officially since the fans did it.
Yeah, they'll just go with the really bad slideshow.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
All right, in all realness, if they do a good 3rd season, it doesn't make up for the fact that season 2 is a letdown, but it makes
Mappa,
things
so
better.
It'll probably be good.
Well, now, I've heard that it's Mappa, but I've also heard that is just a rumor.
Oh, now that's...
Yeah, it is technically a rumor, but I do find it suspicious that they got that leak Twitter shut down.
Oh.
So...
Ooh, conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean, like, I do hope season 3 has good animation, though, because, like, a lot of what was in season 2 is just set up for all the insane fights that are in season 3.
Speaking of good animation, I'm just about done watching the 1st season of Ranking of Kings, and we get to this really great fight, and I'm like, oh man, Wit Studios remembered that they could do Attack on Titan. This is Attack on Titan right now.
Is it the one where Boji becomes like really big?
No, it's the one when Boji is fighting against the vision of a very large opponent.
Oh yeah. Talk about shows I actually really wish would have been on Toonami, because that show is just so perfect.
It's so good.
Oh, Boji's my sweet little angel baby.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I love him so much.
Must protect.
Yes,
he's perfectly capable of protecting himself.
Yes, he absolutely is, but he's adorable.
He sure is. Yes, and I will beat somebody's ass over Boji. I love him so much.
Yeah, I got 2 episodes left to go, but there will be more.
Yes,
very excited about that. Hey, who knows? Now that the reins have been loosened up just a little bit over at Crunchyroll, maybe we'll see Ranking of Kings on Toonami someday. Maybe. I won't tell people to wait for that. Just watch it. You got Funimation? Watch it. You got Crunchyroll? Watch it.
It has a really good dub too.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
An excellent dub. An excellent dub. All right. Let's talk about Punk Hazard. Ah, yes. So when last we left the Straw Hats, they had just gotten out from the bottom of the ocean and the sea is on fire. Huh. That's a new one.
That is a new one.
And they got this island that none of the poses are pointing towards. And Luffy has already gotten into his head that the only thing that island is missing is them on it.
I love that
of course.
line so much.
It's got fire and volcanoes. The only thing it's
got
missing
lava and
is
fire.
us on it. So they draw straws. Now, this is an interesting comparison because I was reading the manga chapters this is based on, and in the manga, they just immediately go to drawing straws. In the anime, they have Frankie volunteer beforehand, but it has to be Usopp because in the manga, Usopp draws the straw. But I just thought that was it's not technically adding anything per se because there's at least one moment where Frankie says, "Oh, lucky, have a good time." So there's indication that he was at least interested. What I'm kind of surprised about is why did Robin want to go? But she is an archaeologist, and this is a fascinating specimen. So
it is a very strange place with very strange things.
Yes.
Also, difference to the manga and the anime, the seafood lunches that Sanji makes were made with Pond's Fry's cooking in the anime, but because Pond's Fry did not exist in the manga, it's just deep sea fish from when they came out from Fishman Island, which is what really happened. Just a little flourish that they threw in there. Didn't have to. Didn't have to. But they acknowledged it.
I guess it's a filler night tonight. Sorry.
Sometimes you gotta fill up on that filler.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
So the crew going out to the island include Luffy, Zoro, Robin, and Usopp, much to his chagrin. Begging anybody to switch with him. But no, that's a good balance group. I mean, you can't have all the heavy hitters go and none of them stay. That would be bad. Got to protect the ship. Yes. You know, if you don't have the ship, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, just a wee little bit. And of course,
hey,
poor Usopp has to go on the island. There's no way he wasn't gonna go, even though he does have "I will die if I touch that island" disease. It seems to go on mission every time he touches an island, though.
It hasn't flared up in 2 years. I like how everybody's like, "We know." Usopp is like, "Do you make me pull out a doctor's note?"
I will get a doctor's note. It'll happen.
Does it count if it's from Chopper?
Oh my
god. Probably not.
Usopp's like freakouts in this arc are just so good.
Oh god, they're thriller bark levels of good. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, "Why are you eating right now?" 5 minutes later, "Oh, so you're eating now. This is stress eating, thank you." I was like, I'll eat it for you. I love this little commentary that I think it was Brooke asked Nami, "Will the Milky Road reach the island?" "I don't know." But then Luffy will figure something out. It's okay. They got there.
Fine. Everything's fine.
So the reason that they're going to this island, besides Luffy's own fascination, is they get a signal over the snail phone, a SOS, which Robin immediately warns them, more than half of these things are fake. They're traps from the Marines, so don't fall for it. Luffy picks up the thing and is like, "Hi, this is Monkey D. Luffy. I'm going to be king of the pirates."
Of course.
As you do when you're Monkey D. Luffy.
Yes, of course.
Guy on the other line is so freaked out that he doesn't even care about that.
It doesn't. I don't think it even processed.
No. We need our boss. It's so cold. The samurai. He's cutting us all down. A samurai, huh? A samurai? Where have I heard of a samurai? Isn't that like a swordsman? Oh, yes. They hail from the land of Wano.
What's a paladin?
Cut back to a little moment of Thriller Bark where we reminisce about a previous samurai from Wano handing his sword over to Zoro after he's been defeated.
Mm-hmm.
That's not in the manga. Good job, Toei.
That's a good little reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, those four, Luffy, Usopp, Zoro, and Robin, get onto the island, and they see that it is an island called Thriller. I said Thriller Park.
You're welcome.
I'm Laser
brain.
now.
My stupid brain from last time has transferred to you. You're welcome.
They're at an island called Punk Hazard. There's all these signs that say, do not enter. It's illegal to enter. And Usopp's like, come on, guys. We don't want to break the law. Oh, wait. We do that all the time. Come on. We don't want to pick a fight with the government. Oh, wait. We totally did that, too.
All the time.
All the time. We burned their flag.
Sure did.
Soga King, shoot down that flag.
Yep.
So badass.
Oh, I love it. It's one of my favorite scenes.
Great
so
moment.
Good. Love it. So they ignore all the signs and they venture in further, and they see this whole area is just fire everywhere. The buildings are melted. Robin's pretty sure that it wasn't a town or anything. It looked like government facilities. And then, dear listeners, they find a dragon. And they're like, that dragons aren't real.
I've never seen a dragon except for that one time in filler.
Yeah, we don't talk about appies.
I love that you knew exactly what I meant.
Those dragons look totally different, though. They were furry.
That's true. They were.
Yeah, they found themselves a big red dragon, and if that wasn't startling enough, it talks? Well, not really. There seems to be a pair of legs stuck to the back of its neck, and those are talking.
Yeah, because that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, totally.
A dragon talking? What? Oh, a pair of legs talking. Okay, it was just a pair of legs, you guys. It's fine.
It's just a pair of legs, which Luffy immediately attaches to his body so he can be a centaur.
Yes.
I do want to add commentary here. A friend of mine was showing... Well, I'm showing a lot of my friends One Piece, but one of those people immediately called what was going on with those pair of legs, and I'm just like, no, that's not what's going on.
Those legs couldn't possibly belong to a samurai.
Well, no, they called what happened to him. They had no idea who it was, but
oh,
they
really?
They called the individual responsible and the power set responsible.
Huh? That's
wow.
Yeah, I certainly didn't see it coming, but well, some of you guys do party nights with me. So my buddy Otto, he called it.
Impressive deduction, Otto. Yes, we'll get to who caused that a little bit later. Meanwhile, back on the ship, the master of this island has told his men in hazmat suits to capture the pirates on the ship because he doesn't want anybody finding out what's going on at this island. And they do so with some nasty gas that knocks them all out. Sanji notices that there is gas, but is too late to do anything about it. But here's the fun part. They take everybody except the skeleton.
No, this one's already dead.
Of course.
Well, they got a dead guy with them. I don't know.
Pirates are weird. Whatever.
Brooke being a skeleton honestly comes in handy more than you might think.
It's silly how many times this sort of thing happens.
It's almost repetitive, but it's always amusing.
It never ceases to be hilarious, so I'm down for it.
So that group of Chopper, Nami, Sanji, and Frankie get taken to a holding cell where they happen upon a sliced up head who asks, "Hey, do you like puzzles? Could you possibly assist me in reassembling my face?"
Oh god, and then they do it wrong.
And then they do it wrong again.
And then they do it wrong again.
And then they do it almost right. And
It's
he's
close.
like, "Yeah, good enough."
Yeah.
And then he finds out that they're pirates. And he doesn't want to have anything to do with
no,
them.
he's not a fan of that.
No. He's also not a fan of the way that Nami dresses.
He's not a fan, but he's a fan. But he has to say he's not a fan. But he's he's secretly part of her OnlyFans.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, Nami would probably have one of those, and she would charge a lot.
Oh, she would.
Yes, she would.
She would. She would get so rich.
Yes, she would.
Oh. So, Sanji begrudgingly decides to help this guy who's looking for his son, and he feels just a shred of sympathy for him and doesn't want to leave a helpless head lying around in the jail cell, which is easily thwarted by Frankie's laser beam.
It's a fun little theme in this arc where the Straw Hats are just doing the right thing because it's the right thing. That's not usually how they roll. I mean, they'll do it, obviously, but it's really fun to watch them do it consistently in this arc.
Yes, and they'll keep doing it.
Yes, they will.
The next thing they stumble upon is a nursery full of children, some ridiculously large children and some more normal-sized ones. And they're like, well, what the heck is a bunch of kids doing here? And, the kids ask for help because they want to go home and see their families. And they don't understand why they're still there because they shouldn't be sick anymore, because that's the whole reason that they are supposedly there. Because they were sick. So sick that they couldn't even see their parents before they got taken away.
Yep.
That's not sus at all.
No.
Yeah,
The master of the island is a gentle soul who cares greatly for the children. And if you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you.
He's such a clownish character.
Yes, and soon he'll be going to law.
Ooh. I gotta say, I love him as a bad guy. He's very hateable.
Oh, he is super hateable. It is so satisfying when he gets the crap beat out of him.
Oh, absolutely.
And later when they completely make him unable to do anything, so he's completely at their mercy. It's always a good time.
Oh, yes.
But we are nowhere near there yet.
Oh, no.
No. This radio transmission that the Straw Hats received was also intercepted by Smoker and Tashigi. Smoker is now a vice admiral, and Tashigi is now a captain. And they are the head of Group 1 of G5, a ragtag group of Marines that are known for not being the best.
They're very strong, but they're unruly as hell.
Yeah.
Really, really unruly. No surprise that the Marines decided to stick Smoker with dealing with them.
They're just like, hey, you handle these guys, whatever.
Well, Smoker can certainly keep them in line.
That he can.
Mm-hmm. And Smoker's like, well, there was like a 1 in 3 chance of where they were going to be. And all of that is wrong because they found this stupid island. Wasn't expecting to find Straw Hat here, but that works. He's always happy to find Straw Hat. The man will not rest until Straw Hat is... All right, Smoker is Zenigata.
Oh, he's absolutely Zenigata. I think he's actually
and in many ways he's Garp.
Parallel between Roger and Garp. Actually,
exactly. Exactly. But us Lupin fans, he is Zenigata.
Oh, yes.
To Luffy's Lupin. It is obvious. So it doesn't matter where. He's always happy to see him. He'll always track him down. Though, admittedly, it has been quite a while since Smoker has been seen. Last seen in the Marineford incident. So, well, there isn't really any time when it would have made sense for him to be around. But he was aware that the Straw Hats went to Fishman Island and caused quite a ruckus there.
Mm-hmm. Straw Hats causing a ruckus? Who would have thought that? That never happens.
They're such quiet people.
Yeah, they're very polite and quiet and just very well
very low key.
According to some people that don't particularly like watching One Piece, they're constantly screaming. Apparently.
Oh yeah, that's what happens.
What you watching the 4Kids stuff?
Oh,
everybody was screaming their lines in that one. Except for Sanji, for some reason. That actor didn't seem like he could scream, even when he was supposed to.
Yeah.
Had to focus on that accent.
What's funny is apparently
it is hard to scream when you talk like this.
Well, apparently that's the same voice actor who did Zelos, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah. These days, like, why didn't you just use Eric Faye? Eric Stewart, come on. That was so easy.
Use Eric Stewart. Oh, please. That would have been amazing.
Would have been appropriate.
Yeah.
I still like Mark DeRison.
Do the Brock voice, and you could even go crazy with it.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be somewhere between Brock and Kaiba. It would work.
Yeah, I could see it.
Instead, they decided to make him the narrator of the opening, which was, I mean, it's not nearly as, I mean, it should have just been Roger.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I suppose the narrator is not Roger in that. So, well, whatever. It should have been a deeper voice than Eric Stewart, but whatever. But I did like Mark DeRison as Zolo. And I've been reading the manga, and it pisses me off every time I read Zolo.
That's one of the few reasons I don't read the manga.
It's not a good reason to not read it.
It's not the biggest reason, but it's one of them. The biggest reason is I can't follow the art in manga. It's just really hard for me.
Honestly, it's extremely busy. The paneling is a lot to take in.
It's very impressive, but I can't.
Yes.
I can't follow it.
Usually what I have to do is I have to like zoom in panel by panel to like make sure I'm actually seeing everything correctly.
Yeah, there's a lot of wide shots where characters are very, very small.
Yeah.
Especially in this arc, because there's a lot of times when they're outside and they just want to do like a wide shot of wherever they are. I'm like, what's even... I see they're talking, but I don't really know what else is going on here. Yeah, not Oda's best work in Punk Hazard's paneling, I will say. And I'm totally not thinking that just because Totally Not Mark said it. But I can't not think it after I heard him say it.
Oh, boy.
It honestly really doesn't get better until like Wano.
Oh, no.
I have heard that, yeah. The paneling was pretty good until like Thriller Bark.
That's funny, because that's actually when the first time I tried to read the manga was in Thriller Bark, and yeah.
Yeah, like Thriller Bark is kind of messy. Then it's good for when like it's just Luffy for that entire Whitebeard War period, and then it becomes a mess again in Fishman Island.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's. I tried to read Fishman Island, and it's just.
Oh God.
It's not as painful as watching the anime, but boy, it's close.
Yeah, it's still tough.
It is.
The one time where I completely stopped reading One Piece was in Fishman Island.
Fair. I mean, yeah, pretty tolerable if you binge it, but even then, it's kind of a headache to look at. Probably because even though there's all this fascinating architecture, you almost never see it. It's always just like blank, really uneventful scenery.
Yeah.
Or when it's not, it's super busy and it's hard to tell what you're looking at.
And there's so much fluff.
Oda with his dang 1.5-page spreads.
Oh man, yeah.
So
they're
many
beautiful,
spreads.
but they're just so busy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I digress. Where were we? Yeah. Right. So they decide to get the kids out because Nami feels really compelled to help these kids. In particular, Sanji's not thrilled about it, but he'll go along with anything Nami tells him to. So they're trying to escape with the kids. Meanwhile, the master is trying his best to keep Smoker away from the island and is not succeeding because all of his traps are getting foiled. It's like, just blow up that iceberg. You see? There's a path. I told you there's a path. You guys don't know anything. So he gets to the door of the lab, and the door of the lab opens, and who should step out but Trafalgar Law?
What?
Unexpected.
Except for my friend Otto.
Yes.
Somehow. I didn't see it coming, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Trafalgar Law has stepped out, and he's like, oh, hi, Smoker. This is my vacation home. Beat it. I think there's somebody else on this island. Nah, there's nobody else on this island. Suddenly, a bunch of kids, some of them giant, and 4 members of the Straw Hat Pirates, and a severed head.
Oh gosh, I love it.
Well, your story doesn't seem to add up, Law. Huh, I'm just as surprised as you are. Okay, we fight now. And then we get a great fight between Law and Smoker until Law rips out Smoker's heart and then swaps his mind with Tashiki's, because apparently he could do that with his powers, along with taking away all of the transponder snails so they can't call anybody, taking away the weapons, taking the ship and building it into the wall. And as the Straw Hats are running away the opposite direction, because they're like, okay, let's try and find another exit. He's like, well, okay, I'll just do this for now. So they're in his power range, and he just swaps them. So now Sanji is in Nami's body. Frankie is in Chopper's body. Chopper is in Sanji's body, and Nami is in Frankie's body. Well, I'm surprised it took this many episodes and chapters for them to do body swap. And yeah, dang it, Sanji.
And Sanji is in heaven.
Sanji
in
is
Nami's
in
body.
absolute heaven.
Oda has certainly taken Sanji on a journey in which he should learn to respect the bodies of women. He has been forced to cross-dress and be feminized on the Newcama Islands, and now he is literally in a woman's body, and yet after this experience, he's still the same horn dog.
Yes,
it's just a downward spiral for him.
I don't think he knows how to get any better. He just doesn't know.
Yeah.
No,
it's unsolvable.
There are some problems that just cannot be solved. This is one of them.
And that's one of them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the other Straw Hats have defeated the dragon, ate the dragon, started hauling part of the dragon.
Of course they ate the dragon.
Of course they ate the dragon. Those box of lunches weren't nearly enough for Luffy. Come on.
Not at all.
They gotta bulk up with that extra red meat.
Yeah, exactly. They gotta bulk up because it's about to get really cold.
Oh, yeah.
And this was actually foreshadowed by Nami looking up at the clouds back on the ship. She's like, those clouds indicate that it would be icy on the other side of the island. Huh. How about that? So they cross over the fiery part into the freezing part after bumping into some centaurs, which Luffy tries to be friends with, but then they're like, hey, wait a minute, you're a bad person, so we can't be friends. Luffy still wanted to be friends, though.
Of course.
Luffy always wants to be friends. He always also wants you to join his crew.
Yes.
I was about to say, yeah.
The moment he sees a centaur, hey, you should join our crew. He's asked a literal skeleton man to join his crew the first time he met him. Of course he's gonna ask a centaur. Did he ask the dragon too? I don't remember.
I don't remember if he did or not, but it would not shock me in the least. But somehow
it would not.
I can't. I don't think he did, but I don't remember.
Yeah. But now it's very, very cold, and they've been knocked into the water out of the little banana boat that Usopp produced from one of his seeds. Because Usopp has a total bag of tricks now ever since he trained on that island for 2 years and found all these really cool plants that he can use Batman style.
Oh, yeah.
And he kind of has a trick for every possible thing that could occur.
Pretty much.
Yeah, shout out Usopp.
It's like the Sword of Omens in the original Thundercats. It solves all problems.
Yeah.
But the boat gets capsized by the attacks from the centaurs. And then luckily, Brook shows up and freezes their guns and causes them to backfire and explode in their faces. But now, those 4 other Straw Hats are like, boy, it sure is cold. And boy, those coats they're wearing sure look warm. And I've never seen this most of the... Yeah, I think I've never seen Usopp make such an evil face. I mean, Zoro, not too surprised. Luffy, yeah. Robin, I mean, she was a bad girl at some point. But yeah, those were some very sinister looking Straw Hats. And the centaurs are like, they're bandits. They're stealing our stuff. That's also when they meet Brownbeard, who apparently doesn't like the worst generation of pirates. He thinks they're all a bunch of upstarts and troublemakers.
Is he wrong?
And
though?
he's right.
Yeah.
He's absolutely right.
Yes, he is.
But they take the coat. Brooke steals a coat even though he doesn't need one.
Doesn't need it, but he's going to get one.
He's going to get one. He's going to get a nice fashionable coat. And they're like, Brooke, you don't even need a coat. He's like, yeah, but coldness is a state of mind.
It'll keep his soul warm.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want him frozen down to the bone.
That would be a bone-chilling situation. I think he actually made that line in one of these episodes, and like he messed it up first. And it was like, wait, we try it again. Or maybe that was just in the manga translation. I don't know. I do not remember. So now they got coats, and they also have Brownbeard for transportation.
Ah, poor Brownbeard.
Yeah.
He really gets it bad in this little arc.
Yeah.
He does.
Mm-hmm. And Brownbeard makes it back to the lab where he's found Law and Smoker's group. And Law's like, all right, head around the back, go find what you're looking for. And Brownbeard thinks that is a message to him. I don't think that's actually the case, though. He doesn't really care about Brownbeard. Not beyond giving him new legs, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, Law has made off with Smoker's heart, and those guys have been captured. Wait, they get captured yet? No, they get captured later. They try to get off the island with another boat because their boat is trashed. So they try to commandeer somebody else's boat. Well, the Straw Hats meet up and have a good laugh at the situation with the body swapping.
Yeah, that's about right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know Luffy was going to find it hilarious.
Oh,
Of course.
yeah, absolutely.
Poor Nami inside of Frankie's body is like, I don't even care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I know this would have been difficult and even complicated, and the Japanese version didn't do it, but I really wish they had the regular Straw Hat actors pretending to be the other people.
Oh, that would have been great.
Instead of just swapping the voices. Because the voice goes along with the mind, apparently. That's not how biology works. But there's a lot of things that are not how biology works in One Piece, especially involving Law's powers. Law's powers don't make any freaking sense.
No, but
your torso gets attacked and your mouth starts bleeding.
Yes.
How does that work? I don't know. Also, how can you like stack the pieces together? Because that's kind of weird. Because now the samurai's legs and his head can stack, so he's mobile. At least he's mobile. At least. And Law has gone off to have a word with Caesar because he's kind of like, hey, what's the deal with the kids here? You experimenting on kids, man? That's not all right. That is not okay.
It is not.
After they have that chat, Law goes out and meets up with Luffy after Frankie Nami has been captured by the Yeti Cool Brothers.
Oh, the Yeti Cool Brothers.
Yes, the Yeti Cool Brothers.
They're very
Who's always talk about how things are cool. Very cool.
They're so cool, they're hot.
Because let's see here. Now the Straw Hats have split up again. Now Zoro, I said Nami, Sanji in Nami's body, and Brook and the samurai legs and head ran off on its own. But those three are going out to look for the samurai's torso because Brook had a run-in with the torso at some point. As because of course he found the torso.
Of course.
And they apparently are the first ones to get attacked by the Yeti Cool Brothers, who fire off some gas at them, which is apparently like super powerful alcohol, which immediately knocks them out, except Zoro has enough time to think long enough to cut up the spikes before they die on the spikes.
Mm-hmm.
Because Zoro has lots of tolerance.
Oh yeah, he's very high tolerance for
obviously.
The booze.
I appreciate that nod. So they're able to immediately get up and beat up Caesar's guys that are trying to capture them. But yeah. So now that the Yeti Cool Brothers have captured Frankie Nami, and they did so because they want Frankie's body because Frankie has Vegapunk technology, particularly the laser. So we have a damsel in distress situation of a very odd kind. And like, why did you guys capture me? I know it's because I'm really cute, but and they're like, oh, this guy swings that way. That's cool. Because of the Yeti Cool Brothers and everything's cool. These guys are hired assassins that Caesar uses to do his dirty work, and they have pretty much never been seen. I mean, they are Yetis. They get around in the snow very effectively and can hide and attack from afar. They're very good shots, but they're really no match for Luffy.
A few people are.
And Frankie decides it's a real great idea to immediately eat one of the rumble balls that Chopper advised him from eating. And the rumble ball at this point in Chopper's training is really only to use his monster form, which he can control. But Frankie cannot.
No. We got a rogue Chopper body going on the loose now.
Yeah, and it's causing more trouble for Luffy than the Yeti Cool brothers are.
Yep.
So Luffy has to put the old boy down with one of his stronger attacks. You know, just to make sure that he's unconscious. But they are able to defeat the Yeti Cool brothers, and that is all thanks to Law showing up, cutting them down. Thanks, Law.
Hey, you think you can fix us?
Well, I need the bodies to be able to do that, so we'll
man.
have to wait on that. Much to Nami's disappointment. And her disappointment will only grow.
Oh, yes.
But Law has something very important to discuss with Luffy. He wants to form a pirate alliance to take down one of the emperors. And Luffy's like, well, as long as it's not Shanks.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Frankie's unconscious, but Nami greatly advises against this because it's like, pirates, they're going to betray you. You really shouldn't do this. We should talk about this. But Luffy's like, yeah, no, this would be great.
This is a great plan.
They get back to the rest of the crew minus the three that are out looking for the samurai's torso. And Law switches some bodies around now. Frankie's back in Frankie and Chopper's back in Chopper, which is horrible because Chopper is now in incredible pain.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. But, oh dear, Nami's body isn't here, so she's gotta be inside of Sanji, which she says is even worse.
Yeah.
There's some funny bits in there where, and this is mirrored with Tashiki and Smoker, but Frankie is all like, Nami, quit buttoning up my Hawaiian shirt. And let those pecs out. Meanwhile, she's like, Sanji, button up my shirt. What are you doing? Stop bundling. It's gonna cost you.
You better be careful. It'll cost you a lot of Nami.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Smoker has opened up Tashiki's shirt and has let it all hang out there. And one of the SBS questions that Oda got was, hey, what happened to Tashiki's bra? And Oda says, well, let me get Smoker to answer that. I ripped it off. What's it to you?
It was constricting.
I could see that happening.
Apparently, Smoker doesn't mind chafed nipples. Especially in this cold, man, that seems like a real bad idea.
Yeah, well, Smoker.
Yeah. And man, why is Smoker inside of Tashiki's body kind of doing it for me?
We're learning all kinds of things today.
It was doing it for a lot of people, apparently.
Apparently, yes, including like their whole crew.
The whole crew, yeah, they were loving it.
Yeah, the captain's acted different these days. She's really hot, but she's mean though. It's like, you idiots, we're not, we're each other. It's so weird to see Smoker being kind of demure and
I
like,
love that. That's great.
Like, she's trying to make herself smaller, but she can't because Smoker's a big burly dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun gag. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So, right about this point, Law is already questioning whether or not it was a good idea to form an alliance with Monkey D. Luffy.
This is always a good question.
A lot.
Yeah. As Nami and Chopper really want to save the kids, and that means that Law has to go help them with that, because that's what an alliance means to Luffy.
You will do what I want you to do. That's an alliance.
Yes.
And first things first, we're going to strap Chopper to your head because he's immobile right now.
Yes.
The Chopper hat.
I love it. I legit love it.
That doesn't last very long, though. He becomes a plushie instead. Dangling off the sword.
I actually really love that pairing, though, because they're both doctors.
They are. They are both doctors. That's why they're going together.
Somebody quick, call a doctor. Oh, wait, I'm a doctor.
Bless Chopper's heart.
Hey, I'm Frankie in here. I can't heal you. Hi, I'm Chopper inside of Sanji. I can heal you. But we've sorted all of that out, thankfully. Well, most of it. Most of it. Poor Nami. You know, it's interesting to see Zoro saving Sanji and Nami's body.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was pretty great.
And Brooke is like, how romantic.
You're like, ew, no. Oh, don't even try, Toei. You've tried to make Zoro and Sanji kiss like twice. I know. I see you. I see you. Right. So they do find the torso and reassemble Foxfire Kinemon, who finally properly introduces himself and is suddenly
character.
A lot more polite.
Kinemon. Yes.
He's suddenly a lot more polite, and he's like bowing to Sanji. He's like, please forgive my insolence. I owe you my life. Thank you so much.
He is a man
So
of honor and taste. All
right. Sanji was really regretting helping him for a little while there. Well, now the samurai is, of course, once again determined to go find his son, Momonosuke.
Momonosuke! He can say that. Great character. Oh my gosh. Yes, shout out to Momonosuke.
But then they noticed some kind of weird. There's like this big mountainous thing in the distance. And Zoro's like, I don't remember there being a mountain over there. Oh, no. Caesar has unleashed his slime creature, Smiley.
Oh,
which is
Smiley.
A highly compacted version of the poisonous gas that he unleashed on the island 4 years ago, which decimated the island and left the living inhabitants unable to use their legs.
And he blamed it all on Dr. Vegapunk.
Well, it's really more along the lines of Dr. Vegapunk had to take the blame because he was in charge.
Yeah, that's true.
But Caesar was a criminal from that point onward. He's no longer working for the government.
I was more referring to his lackeys who were the victims.
Yes, he does blame it. Yes, because Caesar needed a scapegoat for all these other goat men.
Yep.
Goat.
Yes. I mean, they take off one of the guy's hazmat suits and like, what? This is like a ram man. What the?
This isn't He-Man. Why is a ram man here?
What is with you guys? You are freaky. That's some nifty powers you got there, Law. Being able to take animal legs and putting them on to humans and having them actually work. That's
Law's power does whatever is required by the plot. That's how it works.
The island of Dr. Lauro.
Very nice. I get that reference.
Yes. So Law's gone back to. He was hoping he wouldn't bump into Caesar. He's gone back to talk to Monet, Caesar's secretary. She's a harpy woman who Usopp did see earlier and was like, "There's a bird lady," and they're like, "Usopp, you're seeing things." Always listen to Usopp. He's usually right.
He's terrible at explaining himself, but he is usually correct.
Yeah.
So he tries to take Monet off and let Chopper sneak in and look for information on the candy that Caesar has been feeding these children to keep them.
Candy.
Candy. Yes, candy. Drugs are bad. Okay.
That's 2 story arcs in a row where that's kind of the sub message.
Yeah, but the drugs in Fisherman Island were really just kind of peppered in there.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't until the very, very end that we saw the ramifications of using them so much, other than, it showed them getting kind of crazy. But in this arc, these kids are going through crazy withdrawal.
Oh, yeah. No, this is...
Oh, yeah,
it is
terrible.
It is awful to see.
Yes.
Like, they can't think because of all the pain that they're going through. So they lash out and they try to attack the Straw Hats because they won't give them the candy. And they want to go back and get the candy. And it's just... Oh,
I know. It's very viscerally just, oh my god, it's terrible. And they're kids here. I mean, oh my god.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And that's why we like it when Caesar gets punched.
That is why we absolutely love it when Caesar gets punched.
Repeatedly, preferably.
Yes.
Yes. So let's see here. I'm trying to keep track of where everybody is. Luffy, Robin. Yeah, Luffy, Robin. Gosh, what group of characters rolls up on G5 when they're trying to take the ship? I know Luffy's there. Okay, yeah, it was Luffy, Robin. I think it's just Luffy and Robin.
I think it is. I think you're right.
That's what's throwing me off. Okay, so Luffy and Robin, and no, Brownbeard's still tied up. Oh, by the way, the Yeti Cool brothers attempted to kill Brownbeard. It doesn't stick, but they attempted to kill him.
Oh, God,
and at that point, he's like, maybe the master's not such a nice guy.
Oh, don't they play a clip for him, being like, "Oh, the master ordered it."
Yeah,
it wrecks him. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah, he just got some real bad news.
Yeah. The guy he thought that was a stand-up guy that really had his best interest in mind just threw him away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's Caesar's a real piece of work. He lies as easily as he breathes gas.
Yeah. And he has a horrible laugh.
Oh, God. Shouts out to Jerry Jewell. Oh, my God.
Excellent casting. Excellent casting. Truly, truly fantastic. So, G8, Smoker, Tashigi, Robin, and Luffy. And Usopp was with them. That's it. Yep.
Oh, I think you're
no,
right.
no.
Maybe.
Usopp is with the kids. Usopp
That's
with
right.
Nami, Sanji, and the kids.
Is Frankie with them? Is Frankie with Luffy and Robin?
If I remember right, Frankie circled back to go to the boat.
Okay, yeah.
Because I can't remember.
Actually, I think Frankie might be with him. Oh, man.
God, we are terrible. we are the best at recapping.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. It's all right. Yeah, I think Frankie's with them. Another fun thing about Frankie or Nami and Frankie's body, I refuse to shoot lasers. I would rather die. Like, why don't you like lasers? Why don't you like robots? And the kids are like, come on, robot person. It's like, I'm not doing it. I love how Frankie tries to explain to the kids, no, I'm not a robot. I'm a cyborg. It's like, they're kids, Frankie. Don't just roll with it.
Yeah, just let them have it.
Just let the kids have it. Let the kids have it, Mr. Robot Man. Yeah. So, Luffy, Robin, and maybe Frankie, and the G5, including Smoker and Tashigi. The G5's trying to take one of the boats, which is labeled CC, and they're like, CC? What could that stand for? Oh, Caesar Clown, perhaps. Caesar Clown, perhaps, indeed. They get the okay to kill everybody that is on the island, and somebody named Joker would make sure that it is reported as an accident at sea.
When did this cross over with Batman?
Yeah, right. So they're trying to take one of the ships, and then some slime starts shooting out from the sky and landing on the boat, and they foolishly try to touch it, which is a very bad idea. And then they had the slightly better idea of trying to set it on fire, but it turns out not only is this corrosive, dangerous to touch, it also explodes when you try to use fire.
Well, shoot.
That's a well thought out chemical weapon, I'll say that much.
Indeed.
So that causes a huge explosion, and Smoker's not sure whether or not all of his men are okay. Then Caesar shows up, and as per Law's plan, they gotta capture Caesar. So Luffy just goes right to that plan and tries to capture him. And it seems like he's going well at first, because all of the poison gas doesn't affect Luffy ever since he survived Magellan thanks to Ivankov's procedure. Now poison doesn't really do anything to him. So he sucks up all the poisonous gas. But here's the thing. Caesar can control all gas, including oxygen. So he just sucks all the oxygen out of everybody's lungs and they pass out. Pretty easy to take care of your opponent if you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll make it very, very easy.
Yeah. Your hockey ain't gonna do you no good with no oxygen in your mouth.
Oh, right.
No, not particularly.
Mm-hmm. Law's also not having a good time, because as he's taking Monet away, he's greeted by a figure from his past. Yes. A tall Navy man named Vergo.
Oh, Vergo. For lots of reasons I can't say, screw this guy.
Oh, yeah. Screw this guy. Yeah. He is the worst.
He is
also
absolutely
his
the
food
worst.
on his face.
Oh, God. I do like that he's got it. For the longest time, I'm like, is that supposed to be like, what is going on here? And then she's like, oh, no, and it's just a piece of steak.
Yeah.
Yep. Just a piece of steak stuck to his face, which...
Yes. It's like a big-ass piece of steak, too. It's not little.
Sometimes he eats the food that's stuck to his face. Also, at one point, he thought he had eaten some cookies, and Monet's like, "No, there weren't any cookies." Ah, yes, there weren't any cookies.
That was funny. I was like, "What?"
And he got the spoon stuck to his face from when he stirred the.
Oh yeah.
Stirred the coffee.
I don't know how the hell that happened, but it did.
He's just using his psychic abilities.
Oh.
To keep the spoon there. I can't explain the steak, though. I mean, it was a pretty big piece.
It's very, very sticky. It's got lots of barbecue sauce all over it.
I guess. What a messy eater he is. Jeez.
Yeah, right?
Terrible.
Yeah. So he knows what Law is really up to, and because they don't trust Caesar either. So Joker has sent Monet to spy on Caesar, and since Vergo, or rather Vergo, had a hunch that something was going on at Punk Hazard, and he hopped on one of the boats traveling from Dressrosa. Dressrosa. That might come up again.
Yeah.
It might.
Yeah.
It might.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Possibly.
What is this place? Dressrosa.
It's a place that dresses like Rosa.
Yeah. Wonderful place.
Maybe. Yes. So now Law has been put down. You know, they've given his heart to Virgo, which makes him very easy to pin down Law. And he's thrown into a big cage with Luffy, Robin, Frankie, and Smoker and Tashiki. And they are now going to be taking part in a little experiment that Caesar is planning to broadcast to the underworld to find the highest bidder for his new and improved Smiley. Not good.
No, not good at all.
Yeah. Oh, there was also a moment where the torso was trapped underwater, and Sanji within Nami's body had to do a daring rescue into he put Nami's body through the paces. But to be fair, Sanji's body in Nami's care got beat up real bad too.
They sure did.
Luckily, they made it out of that scrape okay. Her and Usopp, and is like, Usopp, are you okay? It's like, oh, Sanji, thank goodness. No, it's Nami. Oh. What do you mean you're disappointed? The interactions between Nami and Usopp are so good.
Oh, always.
Like, bro, why would you rather have Sanji here? He's so undependable most of the time.
Sanji gotta do what Sanji gotta do.
I guess he's stronger than Nami in some senses, but he doesn't have the nifty weather stick.
And he is not going to be nearly as tactical.
No. Sanji thinks from the heart.
Sanji be like, oh, a sexy bird woman. I think I will join you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much everything so far. We got a little sidetracked here and there, but
it's okay. We all came back.
We're here.
It's fine. It's fine.
It ain't a podcast without tangents.
True.
So that's magical in and of itself.
True. Yeah. We're about halfway through this arc, and I feel like this is the meatier portion where a lot more interesting things are happening. What's going to follow is a lot of let's try and run away from this thing.
Uh-huh.
But all this time we've been wondering, is Momonosuke even here? The kids weren't entirely sure, but they do know that there were some other kids that were somewhere else in the facility. And Caesar has managed to get the kids back to the biscuit room, enticing them with the candy. But one of them, I believe her name is Mocha.
Mocha is best girl.
She's come to the realization that, no, I don't want to come back here. I wanted to go. I wanted to leave. I'm sorry. I should have listened to the nice lady. I should have gone with them. I shouldn't have come back. Oh no, this is bad. Let me out. And the Caesar's minions are trying their best not to sound evil. Shut up, you brat. I mean, princess.
Yeah, failing horribly.
You don't want their bedside manner leaves a bit to be desired.
It reminds me of some things that happened in another arc later on with some other small people. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But at this point, the kids are having hallucinations, like Mocha seeing these people as snakes.
Oh God!
Some of the other kids were mentioning seeing things.
Yeah, like, them. Yeah, and the children were big tripping.
Oh yeah.
It's really bad. Really bad.
Don't do drugs, kids. Just don't do drugs.
Yeah, seriously. And the whole purpose of these drugs is to try to enlarge these children. Who could possibly have wanted that?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's a good question.
Very good question. Other good question is, who are these shadowy figures of the underworld? Some of them are recognizable.
Yep.
Hey there, kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, hey, Captain, you don't really like weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, but it's good to know.
Yeah, it's good info.
It's good. It's good to know about them.
Information's half the battle.
That's true. It's very important to know what's out there. Yes. And we do know who Joker is because they have a little conversation about it in the holding cell. And Luffy's like, oh, yeah, the bird guy.
That was so funny.
Mingo.
I love it.
Mingo. Look, Mingo.
I remember him from Marineford.
I remember him being an absolute jerk.
Oh,
the
boy,
bird guy.
He's but he might just be misunderstood. He's a good man at heart, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure. The young master is a wonderful, wonderful soul.
And if you believe that, I have a bird cage to sell you.
I see what you did there.
I see what you did.
Can y'all tell we're One Piece fans?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So this arc is very much about building towards what will follow. We meet this samurai who's looking for his son. He is also looking for a companion that is somewhere else. And all of what's going on at this island relates to what will follow.
Oh, yes.
In big ways.
Very big ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lots of cool stuff to come. And yeah, it is feeling a bit like a rehash to do drugs again, but honestly, they were just kind of dabbling with it in Fishman.
It feels like he had the idea of Fishman Island, but didn't really know how he wanted to do it. And then after that it's like, wait, I know how to do that better.
Yeah, I think so. So while it is somewhat repetitive, it's a very different situation. I mean, these are kids that are unknowingly consuming bad chemicals that are totally wrecking them.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Virgo, who's pretty much the head of G5, has been covering up the disappearances of all these children. What a great guy.
Oh, yeah, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful human being. There's lots of those around here. Totally wonderful people that aren't at all scummy at all, in the least. I don't know what would make you think that he's the head of G5, you know? He's a good guy.
Laser, they're doing the greater good.
They are doing the greater good, it's true.
That's another reason I really appreciate Smoker, because he knows that there's bad stuff going on in the Marines, and he's trying to work on the inside, but
he reminds me of what I think Kobe will be when he grows up. Well, I mean, he's very much same kind of guy, same kind of energy.
Yeah.
Well, and that's something One Piece does very, very well is nuance. Not every pirate is good. Not every pirate is bad. Not every Marine is good. Not every Marine is bad. There's good and bad on both sides. Now, the Marines are oppressive, horrible organizations.
There are good people and bad people on both sides.
But there really are, though.
Yes, in One Piece,
in One Piece, there really are.
Absolutely the case.
But I mean, you could easily a lesser writer would have been like, oh well, no, this is the bad guy team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have pirates that the Marines will not try to go after because they know that they have no chance of apprehending them.
Yeah.
Like, Shanks can just stroll up to a Marine base and be like, all right, we're done fighting. We're done fighting.
All right.
Kids,
that's it.
Kids,
that's
all.
That's enough. That's enough.
Okay, we've got all these
Put
other
your
parts, and now
away.
Shanks is here. Ah, damn it.
Party's over.
Oh,
Party's over.
Shanks shows up. Hey, cut it out.
Cut it out.
But that is one of the things I absolutely love about it. Is it keeps it honestly more realistic. That even where nominally the bad guys, because let's be honest here, World Government are the bad guys, straight up, they are. But not everyone there are bad. There are good people there, and of course there are pirates that are absolute shitheads too. We have our friend Blackbeard.
Oh,
friend Blackbeard.
Oh, I loathe Blackbeard. Oh, I loathe him.
Oh, I think we all do.
Oh,
for many, many very good reasons.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh God, I want to punch him in the face.
Oh God, me too.
He is just the worst.
Scummy is all get out.
Mm-hmm.
He has a good laugh, though.
yeah, he does. It's true.
He has one of the better laughs. Yeah, he has one of the better.
I'm gonna be real with you. I love all of these laughs in the dub in particular. They do a really good job.
I agree. Yes.
Same here.
A lot of fun. Well, okay. The princes in Fishman Island.
Okay, maybe not them. Maybe not them.
But remember, there's a traumatic reason why they are stupid like that.
Yeah, it is. Bless them.
Oh boy. Anyway. So yeah, that's about where we are in Punk Hazard. We're about halfway there. And if we continue with the click of one episode a week, it means we probably won't talk about it again until 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We shall see. Nobody knows what the future may hold.
That's true.
But I just wanted to throw this out there. I feel like it is the best time to be a One Piece fan in the U.S.
Oh, absolutely. I've been a One Piece fan for over 20 years. It's never been this good.
It's so good, particularly if you're a fan of the dub, because they're in the same story arc as the sub, finally.
I need to actually catch up on my dub. Get it on Crunchyroll already, frickin' cowards!
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but they were surprisingly nice about slapping the first 25 episodes of Wano on the week after they put the Reverie up, which was surprising. Because now they're actually up to date with the digital release, which before it was like a month behind without fail. And I thought it was going to stay a month behind, but I don't know. But yeah, it's time to move it over to Crunchyroll, don't you think? I mean, what? Stop making me pay for two services.
By a couple of months into this, we'll have everything on Crunchyroll. Lies.
Yeah. That did not happen.
That did not happen.
9 months later.
I wish I had just kept my year of Funimation, but I'm like, oh, okay, I believe you. I shouldn't have.
Yeah, that was no. No good.
Yeah, like my subscription finally ended in like December, so like now I basically have to wait for it to come to Crunchyroll at this point.
Yeah, I let mine lapse because they were going to charge me $99.99 for the whole year. I was like,
no.
But then after I unsubscribed, then the website finally let me resubscribe and do monthly. So I'll do that for now. At least if they're going to keep releasing One Piece that quickly.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Because I was just about ready to start buying it off of the Microsoft Store, even though that is the... Why would I want to buy it off the Microsoft Store?
That's like the worst place to buy
I don't have an Xbox.
I have this giant DVD Blu-ray collection. I'm keeping that going.
Well, they're still releasing those, but they're like a...
Oh, God, they're in, like, just starting so.
Yeah, they're like a year behind.
I know. But that is where I'm buying it, but I was watching it on Funimation. Maybe I'll have to find a way.
Yeah, I switched over to Crunchyroll to watch
I've been watching
Wano.
I've been watching a lot of simuldubs on Crunchyroll. Holy cow. That is one thing I do like about the merger. The only thing I practically like about the merger is they are doing a lot more simuldubs than they were.
That's true. Though I'm looking at the winter simuldubs, and I'm like, what a weird choice.
Honestly, Ice Blade Sorcerer, you definitely should watch that one.
It's like there's so many fantasy and isekai this season, and it seems like they just took a dartboard to figure out which ones to dub.
Yeah, it kind of does feel that way. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here waiting for them to dub last season's run of Legend Galactic Heroes. They dubbed every other season.
Yeah, that still doesn't have a dub.
Nope.
I'll get around to it.
They will. I was hoping they do it this season, but...
Yeah, it was a weird experience watching the live-action Shin Ultraman with an English dub.
Okay, yeah, I watched it with the dub too. Like,
oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
So the performances are good, but it's so weird, like watching like English sounds coming out of like real human lip flaps.
Yeah, dubbing live action is actually like really hard for that exact reason.
I was like, this Japanese guy sounds like John Bergmere, and I don't know how to handle this.
Yeah.
I did not recognize the Ultraman, the main guy's voice. And I was like, oh, it's Chris Hackney. No wonder I didn't figure on who it was, because he's never really been in Funimation dubs before. But, well... Okatron apparently recorded that one, and it was there's quite a few Los Angeles people in it. Makes me wonder if John Bergmere actually moved to Los Angeles. Maybe he did.
Yeah, maybe.
Could explain why he doesn't show up too much in Funimation dubs these days, or Crunchyroll dubs. Crunchyroll Dallas dubs. I have to specify that because there are some Crunchyroll dubs that are shipped out to... Well, I mean, technically, they're not Crunchyroll Studio dubs if they're sent to Bang Zoom or whatever. At least Iruma-kun stayed at Bang Zoom.
Thank God.
One can only hope that they learned from Mob, but...
That is the way I feel about it with them doing Iruma-kun that way. I'm like, okay, maybe...
We are inching very close to the dub of Trigun, and we know Johnny's back, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's the only reprisal.
Yeah.
There's no way they're getting Jeff Nimoy. I would love for them to get Jeff Nimoy. They're not. It's not going to happen.
I kind of think Jeff Nimoy wouldn't work with them.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So, was it? I think Colleen played Meryl in Badlands Rumble. Is that right?
I think that sounds right. Yeah.
So, probably she'll be back. Who was Wolfwood in that? Was it Tatum?
Oh God, I honestly don't even know because he like says like 3 lines of dialogue and then it's just like my people.
Yeah.
Me.
Apparently, it's Brad Hawkins.
Oh, Brad Hawkins. Oh. Wow. Is that not? Yes. Is that not VR Troopers? I mean, now he's probably best known for Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, I would better know him for VR Troopers, but that's because I'm old.
I still remember him as Tiki Miki in Geek Rayman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still to this day feel like they really should have had him voice Gridman.
That would have been pretty cool.
Not that who Rob McCollum? Yeah, not that Rob McCollum did a bad job. He was great.
No, it was great. Yeah,
but it still would have. It really would have scratched that nostalgia itch for me if Brad Hawkins had voiced him. But instead, Brad Hawkins voices another character who you never see the mouth. Because, sir, why not? Huh. He was Wolfwood. Well, they might get him again, but they'll probably just recast. I don't even know. Colleen has said that she's so busy with One Piece that she doesn't really have time for other things. And, of course, she's still directing My Hero, so they might recast her just out of convenience. And because, I mean, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, I mean, most of the Japanese cast was, like, completely recast. So, like,
yeah. I honestly, wouldn't it have been interesting if it was Bryce Papenbrook as Vash?
That would have been something.
I don't want to imagine that.
But honestly, I'm happy with that they got Johnny back because it's
Matsuoka. It's Matsuoka in the Japanese, and apparently Bryce was young Vash in the old dub.
Yeah, he was.
Wow. See, that'd be fun. It's not like there hasn't been plenty of other moments of Johnny Young Bosch passing the torch to Bryce Papenbrook. They kept casting them as brothers for a reason.
Yeah, like I'm sure Bryce would do a good job, but like Johnny Young Bosch is like the definitive Vash in my eyes.
I have to agree with that.
I wouldn't have mind a recast, be it Bryce or somebody else, but yeah, I'm happy to have Johnny back. And Johnny's definitely happy to be back, so good for him. Things are good for Johnny Young Bosch this year, man.
Yes.
Bleach is back. Trigun's back. He's in the new Power Rangers 30th anniversary special.
Yeah, he's getting his coins.
It's a good year to be Johnny Young Bosch.
Oh, he's definitely getting the most money for that Power Rangers thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
I will
I
say
think Bleach
that new
is a union
Bleach
dub.
is amazing.
Yeah. And he was whenever he was here for Alabama Comic Con, he was really excited about coming back as Ichiko and all of that whenever we met him. So he was excited.
Of course. I would expect nothing less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've rambled on long enough. We should probably call it here.
What? We tangented? That never happens around here.
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. So you can email us at podcast@ToonamiFaithful.com. You can follow us on Facebook.com/ToonamiFaithfulPodcast and on Twitter @ToonamiPodcast. You can listen to the podcast on just about everything, including Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Overcast, Podbay, Podbean, Podcast Addict, Radio.com, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, and probably other things. And you can find every episode of the podcast to stream online at soundcloud.com/Toonami Faithful Podcast. You can also get the latest news by following @Toonami News on Twitter and read the news, views, and reviews on ToonamiFaithful.com. All right. Umeko, tell us where they can find you.
I am on Twitter at BLU_temptation.
All right. And Laser, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me at on Twitter at LaserKid Prime. You can find my written work on Toonami Faithful, and of course, you can find me on a cavalcade of the VLord Podcast Universe podcasts.
And VLord, once again, tell us about the VLord Podcast Universe.
Yes, so to start out, you can find me on Twitter at VLordGTZ, and then when I have time, I write various things for MangaMavericks.com as well as the Toonami Faithful website. And yeah, as far as the VLord Podcast Universe goes, the head honcho of it is the Demon Slayer Podcast on Twitter at DSlayer Podcast. Then there's a bunch of other podcasts that we have. The Dumb Weebs Podcast, Saturday Night Shaggy, and Oversoul Shaman King Podcast. So check out all of those.
Okay. And you can find me on Twitter at Sketch1984. And with that, I'd like to thank you for listening to this podcast and all our other podcasts that you've listened to. We hope you've enjoyed the conversation, and all our rambling was entertaining and informative. And we'll be sure to keep you up to date on any Toonami-related news that comes about. If we don't get to it on a podcast, you can always check us out on @Toonami News on Twitter, as mentioned prior. So with that, thank you for listening, and until next time, we're punching out.
It's mystery dragon meat!
Yeah, that's a loopy. I didn't make my Dragon's Fire and Ice joke.
We won't be intimidated by criminal threats.
Every Saturday night at midnight, Adult Swim is building you a better cartoon show.
We call it Toonami.
You're about to witness something extraordinary.
Everybody run! Sound the alarm! We have an intruder!
Look at the current state of the streets. It's chaos down there.
You gotta fight us too!
If that's what you want, sure!
You're mine! Is the party already over?
The heroes are moving in now. That's our cue.
Handle the ones behind you. I won't be too long. Behind me? Let's keep on dancing!
Is this the new normal? The dangerous future we're heading towards?
Relax. It's more fun this way.
Toonami, every Saturday night from midnight to 3.
On Adult Swim.
And you have front row seats.